Are you ready?
I am.
Is it late at night?
It's actually not that bad. It's only
9 o'clock.
9. It's not. It's closer to 9:30 than it's 9 o'clock.
Either way. Cool.
Yes.
I'm good
Can
to
do
go.
some vocals there. Go.
Cool. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Alex Radcliffe.
Hi, I'm Rena.
And this is going to be what we backed in July, or as usual, I do this every time, what I backed in July and what Rena may or may not add to that list. It's going to be Kickstarters ending in July, to be very clear. Every time I do this video, I get comments about, what about this Kickstarter? It's specifically Kickstarters that have an end date in July, assuming, of course, I got them right. Sometimes I might, miss one or something. Either way, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So, can you see the screen, or you just can't see anything anymore?
I can see.
It's all gone.
I can see.
All can see. So, starting off on the screen, the first thing we have is going to be 6 Siege, the board game. This is going to be by Mythic Games. This is a game that is going to be it's not really a first-person shooter. It is a first-person shooter theme, but in reality, it's really a tactical skirmish game. It's a skirmish game where you'll be moving people around the map. You'll be rolling dice in accordance with the weapons you're using. You're all going to have tactical gear. So every character is going to have their own unique tactical gear as you wander around the map trying to, plant various devices or blow up walls or smash down barricades or plant cameras so that you can get an eye on your teammates or your opponents or whatnot. It's primarily going to be a 2-player head-to-head style game, but it could theoretically be played teams as well. It might be a 3-player mode. I'm not even sure, but I wouldn't necessarily count on it. But yeah, that's going to be 6 Siege.
I'm going to go with yes.
I did. Why did you go with yes?
Because it's Mythic Games.
Well, okay, so that's, I guess that's fair. So, so for more context, I think I haven't backed every Mythic Games.
2-player game.
That's actually a strike against it, to a certain extent.
I have absolutely no idea, which is a lucky guess about that.
No, so Mythic Games, I happen to have backed most Mythic Games games, but I back them from a combination of interest and the fact that they hold their value. If I don't like them, if I'm on the fence about a Mythic Games, I usually back it because I know full well that I can sell it and get my money back. A weird exception is actually going to be Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is going to be a Mythic Games game that I did not back, even though I probably should, with the logic that if I don't like it, I'll sell it. Who really cares? And I don't know why. I don't know.
It's a dungeon crawler?
It's a dungeon crawler, yeah, Darkest Dungeon. You're like, why didn't you back that one? If we were playing this game back then, I would have gotten it totally wrong. I do back most games from Mythic Games. I probably should have backed Darkest Dungeon. Maybe I'll regret it, maybe I won't. If worse comes worse, I'll pick it up in the secondhand market or something, we'll figure it out. I was semi-interested in it. I was just a little worried that it was a little too overwrought. But this game, I actually played this one. I played this one together.
That sounded familiar.
Yeah, I unboxed this one. I played this one. This one blew me away. I was expecting this one to be good or mediocre because it
was wonderful.
It's an IP to begin with. It's an intellectual property. It's going to be Rainbow Six, and it's going to be brought down into a board game, which has me skeptical that they would do it well. But they did. It was actually one of the better 2-player skirmish games I've played. It's very thematically, I'm not as pulled into it as something, let's say, Rum and Bones, for instance. But this was a lot of fun to play out.
Alrighty.
Anyways, so you're 1 for 1 so far. And by the way, this is going to be a shorter list than some of the past Kickstarters because, for whatever reason, July was a slightly shorter month as far as things I was personally interested in.
Alright.
Moving on, we have Death Roads All-Stars. Death Roads All-Stars is going to be
This is the one with the cars.
It's the one with the cars.
You backed this one.
I did back this one. Why do you say I backed this one?
Because it had cars.
What does that have to do with anything?
I just remember there was one that you liked that had cars.
There was one that I liked. Oh, hey, look at this game. Look at this guy over here. Playing this game is an absolute blast.
See?
Board Game Co.
Look at that.
Well, that's fair. They added spaces to my names. People do that a lot, by the way. It's just they either add spaces, they don't capitalize things correctly. It is what it is. It's all good. But either way, it's actually... Nope, that's fine. Either way. So, yeah, this game was... This is an interesting one. This is one, despite my enjoyment, despite my quote, I probably shouldn't have backed it if I were being purely responsible.
You played this one.
I did? Well, yes. I hope so. I said it's a blast. I hope I played it at some point. But this is a game that I really enjoyed what the game was doing. And every time I played it, I really, really enjoyed it. It's also the kind of game I'm a little bit less likely to pull out. It's you need the right group of people. You need the right feeling. It's going to be a combination of strategy and the decisions you make as you draft your cars, your drivers, make decisions around the track. But also it ends up playing a bit like a party game. It has strategy in your decisions, but it ends up like your car will be blown up just because people targeted you or did the right things, or your car swerved and skidded and smashed into the rails. It's a lot of fun, but it's a weird combination of strategy and like just destruction and fun that it is going to require the right circumstances for me to pull out. but it is one that I did back because I did like it when I played it. This game is an
Cars.
absolute blast. Yeah.
Has cars.
It has. Cars are not I back some games with cars, not all games with cars.
Autos.
Like the caveats at this point is like if it's mythic games, if it's Command, if it has miniatures, if it has cars, those are all the reasons to back games. Trolls. We'll talk about that in the future. Moving on to the next one is going to be Deliverance, a game of angels, demons, and the saints caught between. This is going to be a heaven and hell themed dungeon crawler game. It has a whole bunch of angels. It has a whole bunch of dungeon crawling.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no, indeed. But why no?
It reminds me of that other game that I really didn't like with all the miniatures. And there were angels and there were demons.
I got nothing. Tell me more about this game.
Well, it had miniatures.
And it had angels and it had demons.
Yes, it did. And it was, I can't remember the word now.
I don't know the word.
I didn't like it on the first time I played it, and then I decided to sleep on it and try playing it again the second time, and we switched sides because I felt very frustrated. And then I still hated it.
What game is this?
I don't know, we played it a long time ago.
How long ago?
A while ago.
It had angels and okay, so help me out here, because I haven't figured this out yet. It has angels, it has demons.
Well, it might have angels-ish, sort of. There was a movement with heaven involved. I don't remember now.
Heaven and hell?
And there were spots, like portal spots, all over the board. It was a very large board. I got to build my own deck.
Oh, you're thinking of the Edge Dawnfall.
That one.
The Edge Dawnfall from Awakened Realms. Another company I back everything. But yeah, cool. So, I mean, I guess the two have some degree of similarity and overlap. Not really. I mean, you definitely pulled a demon faction. That's definitely true. You had like, these hellhounds that you were playing with.
I know, they're really nice.
They're really nice. They were nice. Yeah, I actually like that game. Not enough to keep because my end result of Edge Dawnfall was given a choice. Like, I liked it, I enjoyed it, but she was a little bit more mixed, and I wasn't.
Frustrated.
It felt like it wouldn't see the table time as much, and I preferred Rum and Bones for a 2-player skirmisher.
Rum and Bones is way more fun.
Yeah, but in general, I mean, part of my problem with Rainbow Six Siege is going to be that exact issue. Longer 2-player skirmish games, they don't see the table as often as I would like. Anyways, yeah, Deliverance is one that I was interested in, but I did not back this one.
Cool.
By the way, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be doing something new, but, well, I'll explain it at the end of the video, but something someone asked for, and I'm going to start doing.
New?
Yeah, something small.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Cool.
Anyways, moving on, we have Distilled.
Yes.
Distilled.
You backed this one.
I did not back this one.
You didn't?
I did not
I
back
thought
this
you
one.
liked it.
I did like it.
Why didn't you back it?
Because, well, there's a combination of two factors as to why I did not back Distilled. It's a combination of two things. So this is a game we played a few times. I really enjoyed it. I would actually say the people in my game group actually enjoyed it more than I did.
Yes, why didn't you back it?
Well, because of a combination of two factors.
Which is?
The first is that there were aspects of the game. This is a game where you're going to be distilling alcohol. You're going to be making alcohol. You're going through a whole bunch of sequences of like choosing to age it, choosing to sell it. A whole lot of fun stuff. Upgrading your distillery, getting various upgrades.
Still not hearing
Really
the
enjoyed
reason.
it.
Keep going.
Yes, so 2 reasons. Number 1 is the reason that it was a little bit lower for me. I enjoyed it, but I liked it. Happy to dive in, happy to play it again, but I'd be less likely to pull this one off the shelf in its current form. There were some things, aspects of more variability in the ingredients, more variability across the board. This one did tremendously well. They got like 400,000. Very happy for them. They get more than that. Maybe they got 500,000. They got $549,000. That's insanity for like a first-time creator. That's really well done. $549,000 over here. You can't read because you have no. You're like, how do you see that? Do you need new glasses, sweetie?
I do need new glasses.
So, yeah, the combination of I felt I wanted a little bit more excitement from the game. It worked well, but I wanted a little more fun things going on. Some of those things they are actually adding, but in the current form, I liked it, but I wanted a little more.
That's only one reason.
The second reason is going to be I was not confident that the Kickstarter was the right price point to jump in on a game that I was less excited for. To me, this is a game I can get at retail. I can get the retail version. I can pay $35 for it as opposed to the Kickstarter. I'd be paying like $80, $90 if I wanted everything, and this is not a game I enjoyed enough to pay that gap. Also, self-control meter. That's going to be part of everything. We still don't have a self-control meter. Well, something at some point. Something's got to give at some point. Maybe when I have more time. But either way, that's Distilled. You're not wrong. I did enjoy it. But enjoyment and purchasing are two different things.
Are they though?
They are. That's the self-control meter thing going on that I have happening here.
Fine. What is this?
This is going to be Escape from the Asylum, a 1 to 6 player cooperative game. This is an escape room game, is what it is. Tom absolutely liked it, but the general ratings are a little more mixed.
I say no.
I did not back it. I didn't back this one again because of price point. This is one where I am interested. I saw enough positive things about the sequence of escape rooms that are in this little pack that I'm interested. I want to try it out. We generally like escape rooms.
3 for 5 so far?
What, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you are 4 for 5, I think?
4 for
this
5?
is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're 4 for 5.
Not bad. This is
Yep.
usually when I start going downhill.
Oh, usually you're downhill before this. Anyways, Escape from the Asylum is one that I'm interested in, but I didn't see a reason to get it on Kickstarter. The price point on Kickstarter versus the price point in retail is another one where I am fine being patient. I do plan on getting this game. I do plan on playing this game, but Kickstarter is not where that is going to happen. Moving on.
Next.
We have Force of Pangaia. Force of Pangaia. Is it Pangaea? Is it Pangaia, right? Pangaia sounds right? You say it.
Pangaia.
Pangaia. Force of Pangaia. Say it with confidence. This is going to be a game that is, well, it has Force. I mean, I think that's clear.
Pangaia.
I said Pangaea. Oh, Pangaia.
Pangaia.
Force of Force. The game of Force. This is going to be a game where you have these trees, and you're planting trees, and you're trying to manipulate. It's not really going to be like photosynthesis, which I don't think you actually played.
I never played that.
You never played photosynthesis. It's actually, you might like photosynthesis. Anyways, Force of Pangaia is going to be a game where you're managing the growth of trees in this game. It is very cutesy. It's a very cute game. It looks potentially a little on the lighter side. What are you looking for? Gaia? Sent out by Gaia. Is it Gaia or Gaia? It's Gaia, right?
Depends what book you're listening to.
Force of Gaia. Force of Pangaia. We're sticking with it. We're going to go ahead. You're a young spirit of the Force sent out by Gaia to bring the first life to the world.
Might be Gaia. I think that's how we pronounce it in Divinus.
Loki. Force of Loki. We're just going to go with that. Force of Loki. We know how to say Loki. Is it Loki or Loki?
It's the wrong pantheon.
So, anyways, yeah, that's gonna be this game over here. Look at the little adorable tree growing with layers.
Cute. I think you did back this one.
Ooh, no, I did not back
this one.
this one.
I start going downhill.
Apparently, you're right. This is where you start going downhill. This is one I definitely was interested in.
It looks so cute. Look at it growing.
It looks adorable.
But
I wasn't confident that I'd like it, and I compared this to photosynthesis a lot in the sense of
I didn't play that game.
Granted. There's a lot of general overlap in the theme and the sense of photosynthesis. Now, this looks a lot prettier with the wooden trees. Looks gorgeous. Looks deluxified. I'm intrigued by it. I do want to try it. This goes back to the self-control meter. Mm-hmm. I like it when I don't back everything that I'm interested in, because that means I have self-control.
All right.
But it's okay. You can always force me to get it if you want.
I know.
Next up, we have Nexum Galaxy. Nexum Galaxy, the sci-fi 4X game.
This is where it's going to come in that I can't read from very far, and I thought it said Nexium.
Nexium Galaxy.
Medication.
It's okay, it's like photos.
Photos.
One time we were at the border, and she's like, what's
really?
photos?
It was really,
I was like, where
late
does it say photos? Apparently, autos, if you're not paying enough attention, in block letters, looks like photos. Fuetos.
F-U-E-T-O.
Indeed. Nexum Galaxy is going to be a game of 4X exploration. It's going to have, these little planets around the board. You're going to have, upgrading. It's a 4X game. Expand, explore, exterminate, all of that. Just, stuff.
I could just flip a coin?
Flip a coin.
No.
I did not back this one. You're back on track. You're like 5 for 7 now, or something like that. This is going to be a game that I, again, was interested in, but self-control meter. Like Force of Pangaia before it. Force of something. Like the Force game before it. I didn't see enough on either of these games to be confident that they were games for me. I have plenty of other games in my collection that I'm not getting enough table time on that I know I love. So jumping in on games that I was a little less sure of seemed, well, self-control meter. Self-control meter is going to show up with these.
Very proud of you.
Oh, don't be so proud of me. The day is not yet done. Moving on, we have Platformer by Awaken Realms Light.
Oh. I see.
What do you see?
Trolls?
Those are not going to be trolls. Those are going to be little minis, little
so
characters,
cute.
heroes.
I'm going to say you backed it.
Well, that was quick. That's all she needed. She's like, miniatures, cute. You backed it. You got it. Yeah, so. Okay.
Awaken Realms has cute miniatures. I failed to see.
It is Awaken Realms. So I did drop that hint a little early in the video. I said I back anything by Awaken Realms.
I know that.
And I knew this was coming, but I was wondering if you'd catch that.
I did.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Oh well. I guess it's fortunate.
Look how cute it is.
It is cute. This is going to be like Deathwood's All-Stars before it. This is a game that I probably should not have backed, but did back because I enjoyed it. Both of these games are going to be games that have strategy in the decisions you're making, but also have enough luck and enough chaos that it doesn't feel like a strategic game, which puts it in a weird spot that you have to have the right group of people and the right situation. That said, this one I think is more 4. It's easier to hit the table with 2, I think. This is a game I could even play with, let's say, the boys, or just, it's a platformer game. You're trying to walk up these various levels. You have these different heroes and characters. You roll dice, a la King of Tokyo style, roll, get a re-roll, and then get gear and stuff, and knock people off the platform and stuff.
The boys would like.
Yeah, I think the boys would enjoy this one. I probably should have played with them while I had it, but do I still have it?
I don't know.
Or did I send this on?
No idea.
I don't even know. Well. Maybe Cher and Jesse have it? I don't know. This game exists somewhere in the known universe. That's going to be platformer by Awaken Realms. That's going to be Awaken Realms Light, more specifically. Moving on, we have... What do we have? Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid United. This is going to be Power Rangers.
I know.
It's a bunch of expansions to Power Rangers.
I'm going to say yes.
Are you finished?
Yes.
I did not back this one. Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid is going to follow the rule we talked about last time. Because I have the base game.
And?
I haven't played the base game.
Okay. Did the children know that you have this?
Oh, yes, they've played with the miniatures.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter. My rule...
More miniatures.
What?
It's more miniatures.
It's more miniatures. But my rule that we talked about last time is I will back all the expansions in the world for games that I love. Even if I'm not playing the expansions. I don't have that level of self-control. Or I do, but I'm not choosing to exercise it. But when it comes to expansions for games I haven't played, I can't keep getting more and more content for a game I haven't even played. That's like the mental line I set for myself. It's not that much self-control.
Meter.
Yeah, the little meter is gone a little bit up. This one has more content, has more stuff. And I've heard good things about this game.
You have to stop scrolling.
I'm just going to stop scrolling now.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll move on to the next one. The next one is going to be Scarface 1920.
You like this one.
Did I?
Yes.
Does that mean anything anymore?
No.
Exactly.
You backed this one.
I did back this one. Scarface 1920. This is one that I absolutely backed this one. I really, really enjoyed Scarface 1920. It is a area control, deck building, worker placement game. Lots going on there. But the short version of it is a game where you're...
A suit when you played this.
I did wear a suit when I played it.
See? That's how I know you liked it.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean I liked it. Doesn't mean I liked it at all. It means I liked it, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. I dressed up for this one. I did enjoy dressing up for this game. Honestly, I have a suit. I have a little, Newsies cap, and so I can get away with it. I don't get costumes for these games, but if I happen to have costumes, well, I've only dressed up twice so far in my YouTube career. The other time was a pirate.
I was going to say it was
Yeah, as a pirate. That was going to be, what's it called? What was that called?
I don't remember.
Oh my gosh, what is that called?
I don't know. You just said, I'm dressing up like a pirate.
The pirate game.
Take my picture.
Feed the...
Kraken?
Was it Feed the Kraken?
I don't know.
It might have been. I don't know. Anyways, this is going to be Scarface 1920. Like I said, deck building, worker placement, area control. It is a game where ultimately the thing that really resonated with me is how much fun it was. How much you felt like a monster. You felt like you were doing cool things. You had moments where people would attack you, blow up stuff you owned. You could always recover. You can come back. You could pivot your strategy. You can move your cars into other people's neighborhoods. And I'm just noticing for the first time that the light behind me is blue. Who's been playing with the light behind me? Why is it blue? It should be white.
Not touched anything.
It should be white.
There's
Anyways,
no one down here today.
Either way, side points and all that. But this is going to be, I really enjoyed this one. I'm looking forward to all the content, the deluxification. Even the prototype we got was ridiculously deluxified. More deluxified is just, more of a good thing. The game trays, the insert, I don't know if it's game trays, but the inserts, game trays inserts, it has that. All those things. The Enforcer expansion pack, which I didn't play. Lots of fun stuff with Scarface 1920. Fun fact, depending on when this video goes up, I think you already know. If you've watched my other video, I recently did a video on top 10 highest funded Kickstarters from first-time creators, and Scarface 1920 was number 10, coming in at 859,000 euros. You're like, whatever you say, I can't see the screen. 859,000 euros. This one is actually my number 10 highest funded Kickstarter from first-time creators.
Oh yeah, I can't see that.
Which was very cool. Red Zen Games, good on them, and that's going to be crossed $1 million if you translate into dollars. That's going to be Scarface 1920.
Nice.
Moving on, we have Valor and Villainy Valor and Villainy Ludwig. I can't say it. I can't say it.
Ludwig?
No, I'm going to do this. Valor and Villainy.
Yeah.
Ludwig's. I keep trying to say Ludwig. Valor and Villainy Ludwig's Labyrinth. Yes. Every single time I'm like Ludwig. I think it's because of Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I think that's why I keep saying that. That's what the game Castle of Mad King Ludwig, right? Do you know this game?
Yeah, I know. But I feel like you also tried saying Beethoven that time each time.
No, I try to say Castle of Mad King von Ludwig. which I make it up. I'm just, whenever there's a Ludwig involved, I can't get it straight apparently.
But
So
it's with
either
a
way,
K.
yeah, this one's a K. Whenever there's a double L's
I'm gonna
involved.
say you backed it.
I did back this one. Why do you think I backed it?
Because Valor Villainy.
So?
I think you like that game.
It's right over there.
Where?
Right over there. Middle shelf over there. You can see the Valor and Villainy right there. Above Monumental, below Wild Ascent, below Clean With Die. Boom. There we go.
I found it.
Yeah, Valor and Villainy is a game I enjoy. This one as well is yet another one in the category of games I should probably have even more self-control and not back. But ultimately, this is one where I like it. And I'm curious. I mean, not curious. I played the new version of it, the cooperative, the legacy campaignish aspect to it. It's one that I think I will be able to dive into, enjoy, go through it. We'll see ultimately, because I really like aspects of what the game's doing, but again, it falls into that space of being a little lighter than heavy games, a little heavier than lighter games. So we'll ultimately see where this one goes in terms of just how often I play it. But if I can go into it and play the legacy mode, and I believe, if I recall correctly, you don't destroy it. It's not legacy. It's legacy light. You don't destroy components, so that aspect is safe in that sense.
Cool.
That's gonna be Valor and Villainy. Maybe I'll get you to play this. I don't know. I think this is fun. I think you'd enjoy this.
Okay.
It might be your type.
All right.
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Moving on. Villagers Shifting Seasons. This is going to be the expansion to Villagers. A game you played.
I did.
Do you remember anything about it?
Give me a minute.
At all. Whatsoever. We have villagers. We have like lumberjacks. We have cards.
I do recall this.
Yes.
I made wine.
You did make, I don't remember. Maybe you made wine.
I
Maybe.
did. I scored 20 points for my wine.
Shifting Seasons is going to add new seasons cards that are going to, for each of the non-scoring rounds, there were 6 rounds, two rounds, 2 of them are scoring rounds.
Right.
For each of the non-scoring rounds, you're going to have seasons that are different events that will come into play.
I don't think you backed it.
I did not back this one. Yes, boom. You're back on track or something, somewhere around the way. I don't know what score you're at. We should probably have like a score meter.
We should have a score meter.
I need to figure out, I need to get better at some basic graphics in, I use Movavi.
I was just going to say we can just get an actual board.
Oh, that's so lo-fi. Maybe. But then it's, I don't know. I need to figure some stuff out.
I just bought a cricket, so I shouldn't play with it.
So, Village of Shifting Seasons is going to be an expansion to a game, and by the way, some of you who've watched my Games Leaving the Collection video actually know that Villagers is over there on my Games Leaving the Collection shelf. It's already gone.
Very helpful clue for me.
It would have been a helpful clue. But at the time this Kickstarter was going, me not backing this Kickstarter was one of the reasons I decided to get rid of Villagers.
There you go.
I enjoyed the game, but didn't love the game. And I was sitting here on this Kickstarter wrestling back and forth, and I was like, I enjoy it, I didn't love it, do I back the Kickstarter? I like the concept of what the Kickstarter is like doing. And eventually when I didn't back it, I realized that also meant I didn't like the base game enough to keep it, and that's when I moved it to leaving the collection. But it was specifically me not backing that was the trigger.
Cool.
Moving on, we have War Room, a Larry Harris game, the 2nd edition. War Room is going to be a game, 2 to 6 players, 14 plus, 2 to 6 hours, an hour per player, 4 to 12 hours in standard mode, 2 to 6 in quick play mode, oh dear lord, 2 to 6 hours in quick play mode, 4 to 12 hours in standard mode.
I'm going to say no.
I did not back this game.
You know why?
Because of the time it takes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a game that plays best at like 5 or 6 players.
It looks really cool though.
And it takes, it's going to be like, this is the board. This is the map. It's like a map of the world. You're moving units around the board. It's supposed to be one of the highest rated, Axis and Allies-esque style game. Dudes on a map, but with a World War II theme. It is incredibly well rated. Cool. People love it. It's supposed to be an ambitious event. And also, I recently got rid of Twilight Imperium because I don't play games that take 6 to 8 hours. I just don't right now.
When was the last time I played a game that long?
Well, we sometimes have played games that stretch out over multiple days because
but that's different.
It is different. A game that takes, the last time I played a game that took 6 hours was going to be Through the Ages.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must have been a Through the Ages game.
It wasn't with you. I started at 10 o'clock at night with a 4-player game of Through the Ages, and we finished it at 4 in the morning.
Where was I?
You were asleep. It was 10 o'clock at night, and it was till 4 in the morning. You were asleep.
When?
We called the police because we had to get permission to have our cars parked down the road. No one anticipated it being, this is my fault completely, no one else's fault. We had 4 players, and they're all interested, and so I was like, let's play Through the Ages. And I thought we'd be up to 1 in the morning. I don't know what made me think that. Yeah, it was 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I love Through the Ages. It's totally worth it.
It's a really fun game.
Through the Ages, I will never play with 4 players again for this exact reason. It's a game that thrives at 3, does well at 2, 6 hours of Through the Ages.
I did not know this.
You were asleep.
Yeah, but why didn't I find out the next day?
You probably did. You probably forgot. I don't know.
Yeah.
The amount of times I wander into bed late at night because I was up doing something, it happens. Anyways, that is going to be it. So yeah, War Room is a very interested in the game. I don't have space currently, mental space or time or whatever it is you want to call
space.
it.
Where do you have physical space?
Oh, physical space I could find in a million places. That's not an issue. There's always room. There's always room for one more game.
I meant to actually play it.
Oh well, to set it up and not tear it down.
Have it destroyed.
We could actually use the inside of the table upstairs, which we haven't been using for a while
This
properly.
is too large.
I don't know how large this is. That's a good question. I don't know what the dimensions are of everything. But either way,
you didn't get it, so it's fine.
It didn't get it. Like Twilight Imperium, very interested in playing this at some point in life, but life's a long time. I got time. You know, my kids will one day grow up, move out. I'll be lonely. I'll find other friends. I'll play games. It'll bring meaning back to my life. In the meantime, I'll just back Kickstarters instead. Anyways, one more.
Wow.
One more is going to be, last one on the list is going to be a GameFound game, speaking of Kickstarter. It's going to be Wild Ascent Lavon Rising.
You did back this one.
I did, but why do you say that?
Because I recall you owning Wild Ascent.
I do own Wild Ascent. In fact, it's right above Valor Villainy.
What's amazing is that I can actually memorize all of these names, but I can't remember what any of them do.
Yeah, Wild Ascent is going to be absolutely a game I back.
Oh, I can read that number.
Ooh, 7. Yeah, that number's bigger. That's not even, doesn't count. Yeah, Wild Ascent is a game I absolutely backed this one. Went all in on this one. I love Wild Ascent. In fact, let me scroll down a little bit more. Lavon Rising did what no other game has ever made me do. I actually read branching story paths just to find out what happened. Like, I didn't even play the game. I just continued reading branching story paths because I wanted to see how it played out. This game lays an amazing and branching story on top of a game system I already love, with additional mechanical tweaks that further enhance the replayability. 5+ out of 5. By the way, 5+ is not an actual rating, but I gave the original game a 5 out of 5, and I liked this game more. So this was a 5, and this is still a 5, but yeah, it was tongue in cheek. 5+ out of 5. I'm gonna reserve that for games that are like the same version of a game I already gave a 5, which is not gonna be that common. But anyways, Wild Ascent Lavon Rising, I really like what the game is doing. I like what Wild Ascent is doing, and Lavon Rising adds narrative and story and like all these aspects on top of it, and mechanical changes to the game as well. Really enjoy this one. I'm looking forward to Storm Sunder by the same people, but Storm Sunder represents like an 80-hour campaign, and Wild Ascent is like a 15-hour campaign. One of those two things gets played. The other one I really want to play. But yeah, that's going to be the last one. I did back this one indeed. And that is everything so far. So, first question for you.
There's a question?
Yeah.
What?
Anything you want to add or
no,
not add?
Actually, pretty okay. Yeah.
That's 2 months in a row you're not pulled in by anything.
I mean, I agree with everything that you ordered.
Cool. Next month, I think there are some things that you might want.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. Next month, but the game's ending in August. The campaign's ending in August. So the thing I am doing that somebody asked me to do, that I will probably be doing in these videos, assuming you want me to continue, is I mean, out of these games, I didn't back a lot of them, sure, but I also do back a lot of games every single month. Somebody asked if I could only pick one, what would I pick?
Oh.
Yes. And so what I'm actually doing is I'm taking a step further. I'm going to tell you if I could only pick 3. Every single month I'm going to be telling you if I could only pick 3, which 3 would I pick? And if I could only pick 1, which one would I pick? And you can guess.
Yeah, okay. You can only pick 3. Oh, I have to remember all the names?
Yes. Well, we can rattle through them quickly.
No, I can't do that.
Okay. Well, sure. No. Okay.
I'm assuming if you can only pick 3.
Yes. Start with
you would, Scarface.
Okay.
Wild Assent.
Okay.
And Valor Villainy.
Ooh, close. You're 2 for 3.
Oh, that's not bad.
If I could only pick 3, it would be Scarface.
Ha.
It would be 6 Siege.
Okay.
And it would be Wild Ascent. And the general reasons, before we get to the one, general reasons are going to be Scarface 1920. It's this genre that gets played. Area Control is generally a genre that gets played by a lot of people in my game group. It's exactly the kind of game we would play a lot of. 6 Siege is because it is amongst the best 2-player tactical skirmish games, and felt very different from the ones I've played, and felt very different from the ones that I've played. The main tactical skirmish game I have in my collection that I really play is going to be from a 2-player mode. I guess we have Super Fantasy Brawl, but that's lighter and shorter. The ones that are a little more going on is probably going to be Rum and Bones, and 6 Siege felt much more tactical and less just fun. I like the fun, don't get me wrong. But that's going to be that, and then Wild Ascent, because Wild Ascent is... I love Wild Ascent. It's a lot of fun, and adding more to the game is that. Now, if I could only pick one, which one do you think I'd pick?
Scarface.
Very close.
Really?
Yes.
6 Siege?
No, Wild Ascent.
Oh, okay.
So I debated this one. If I could only pick one, which would I pick? Would I pick Wild Ascent or Scarface? And I have a hard time deciding. The reason I would debate picking a Scarface is Wild Ascent Lavon Rising, as much as I love it, I already have Wild Ascent. So the question is not Wild Ascent versus Scarface. If it was, I'd pick Wild Ascent. The question is more content, more story, more aspects to Wild Ascent, basically expansions and other things to a game, or Scarface. And that's a much harder choice. I debated Scarface. I went back and forth if I could only pick one of these two. But ultimately, Wild Ascent Lavon Rising is a game I really, really, really enjoy. And adding that story on top of it, and adding more content, and more everything, and more heroes, and more miniatures, and the mechanical changes they made from first to second edition, not second edition, whatever it is, Wild Ascent Lavon Rising, it's hard choosing between those two, but ultimately I think I go with Wild Ascent Lavon Rising. That is basically going to be everything in terms of this video. That's going to be the full wrap-up and special picks and all of that. But we'll be back again with videos throughout the month, and then of course we'll be back with what we backed in August. Until next time, I'm Alex.
Hi, Rena.
And have a good one.